Leafs lose 5-4 to the Washington Capitals, and this game... But you know what? I got to give a ton of credit to this Leaf club for battling and fighting, you know, all the way through, except for in the first period, which was absolutely atrocious. Washington came out firing, and the Leafs had no answer, you know. I mean, they scored less than 3 minutes in. Oshie scored, and then Ovechkin scored 4:34 into the period, and then they have a 2-0 lead early, just like the last game. But then Zach Hyman scores, and it's a 2-1 game, just like the last game. We're thinking, okay, if it's going to be like that, then they're going to score again and make it 3-1. Well, Wilson scores. It's 3-1 again. Okay. But then Wilson scores again, and it's 4-1, and we're like, geez, this is tough. And then we get into the second period. Now, second period rolls around. James Van Riemsdyk takes a nice shot on the power play. Well, more or less gets deflected by the defenseman. I think it was Orlov. And goes into the back of the net. It is a 4-2 game with over half a game to go. Lots of time. Late in the second period, Washington takes 2 stupid penalties. And the Leafs have a 2-man advantage to start the third period. They have to capitalize. They do not. And there I'm thinking, that's like your huge chance. But with 8 minutes to go in the third period, Auston Matthews with a friendly little bounce finds the puck and scores to make it a 4-3 game. With 8 minutes left, there is still time. But literally, less than a minute later, things just broke down. Auston Matthews, you know, I think Burakovsky falls. Matthews falls on top of him. I initially thought Connor Brown tried to pass it to Matthews, who was on top of Burakovsky. I'm like, what are you thinking? But you look at the replay, he fanned on the pass. A whole bunch of scrumbling happens. And then Oshie gets the puck, and Freddie, oh, you should have had that one. And they make it 5-3. A lot of Leaf fans like that. That's it. Well, with 26 seconds left, Tyler Bozak scores to make it a 5-4 game. But with 26 seconds left, it's slim to none. You're going to tie it, and they do not. But it was just a really, really rough first period by the Leafs. That's really what killed them. I mean, you look at it. Washington was up 4-1 after 1. They won in shots 15-6. And also, their faceoff percentage in the first period was through the roof. The Leafs did not really come out hard. Washington came out with everything they had in that first period. And that's the reason the Leafs lost. As much as we did score 4 goals in total and would have tied the game and all that stuff, that first period killed the Leafs. If they came out firing and they came out better, you know, things might have been different because the shots in the third were 18-3. And I understand they had a lead. Washington did have a lead, and, you know, they were protecting the lead, and the Leafs started to fire everything in the net. Braden Holtby stood tall and did his job. Freddie didn't have a great game. I mean, he made some all right saves, but overall, Braden Holtby played a much, much better game, and the result they wanted. Washington wanted this game more. You know, you saw the way they came out. Bang, they're on fire. Just like in the last game. But the Leafs were able to contain it a little bit. Freddie made some big saves in last game. But this one was a tough one. You know, and you knew this was coming from Washington. You knew they were going to come out firing in this one. And they literally did. Ovechkin let another one rip. Just a gorgeous shot. And it's just, the Leafs just couldn't battle back enough. They did. But then a weird, nasty sequence, and they take the 5-3 lead, and I think a lot of Leaf fans are like, that hurts. Right after you make it a 1-goal game and there's still time, plus you score that 4th goal late, you know, it's like, oh, we're right there. But too little too late. A rough first period, they just couldn't come back from it. That's the name of the game in this one. I mean, and now it's going to be tough because they have their home ice advantage now. We go back to Washington for Game 5. If the Leafs can find a way to get that win and be up 3-2 in the series, come back home, come on, if the Leafs can find a way to win it at home, that'd be beautiful. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. We got ourselves a series. It's 2-2. We knew this wasn't going to be a cakewalk series. We knew this wasn't going to be a 5-game set. Leafs were going to win in 5. I mean, that's that's pretty far-fetched. a lot of people picked Washington to win in 4 or 5, something like that. Well, we're going to have 6. You know, and I mean, who knows what's going to happen? You got an even series now. It's 2 apiece. They've been very, very good games. All 4 games have been huge. 3 going overtime. One's a 5-4 win and back and forth craziness. It's one heck of a series nonetheless. And, you know, I think in the next game, Freddie Andersen has to be on top of his game like he was in the last 2. I understand he did give up some goals. He gave up 3 in the last one, and he gave up 3 in the other one, but arguably 3 goals, almost at like 50-something odd shots. But he needs to be on top of his game like he was in game 2 and game 3. If he can find a way to be that Frederik Andersen, oh my goodness, I'm dying here. If he, like I said, if he can be the Freddie Andersen we know he can, like we've seen it in the playoffs, I mean, you give your team a chance to win. We saw it tonight. Holtby gave Washington a chance to win, and they jumped all over it, right? So you just gotta tell, and you just gotta take it as it is. The Leafs lost. It sucks. I don't know what is wrong. Why it tickle in my throat? But you just gotta take it as it is, like I've been saying over and over again now, and move on. As much as it hurts me to say that in the playoffs, and I'm very frustrated about this loss. Yes, Washington outplayed us. You know, and don't look at the shots like, well, the Leafs had more shots. Well, yeah, they had 18-3 in the third period because they had the 2-goal lead going into the third. It was a tie game. The shots probably would have been even in the third, and it would have looked a lot different. But it sucks. You know, I was really hoping this team could come away with a 3-1 lead. That would be big. But it's a 2-2 game, 2-2 series, heading back to Washington for Game 6 at the Verizon Center. And what is going on? I don't like this. But, you know, the Leafs, if they can find a way to pull it off in Washington and take the 3-2 series lead, that'd be huge. But you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoy the video and your heart is broken like mine, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What'd you guys think of this one? What'd you think of, you know, Washington came out so strong, Leafs coming out a little sluggish. What'd you guys think of all the game? What'd you guys think? And we'll talk to you guys shortly, Jays Edition, as, you know what? They won tonight, so hey, now they actually got a win, and it was a good win, too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Raptors edition tomorrow as they're in Milwaukee taking on the Bucks in, Game 3 of that series. Raptors looking to take a 2-1 series lead. And also, Friday, Leafs edition, as they're back in Washington, as we've been saying, taking on the Capitals in Game 5. And I would love this team to take a 3-2 series lead. Oh, that'd be huge! We're just going to have to wait and see. We'll see you guys then.